People always talk about how the casting director of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was absolutely cooking with grease and could see the future of who was going to be the next wave of Hollywood stars. Because on top of an already stacked cast of experienced legendary actors, you had all these new up-and-comers like Mikey Madison, Sydney Sweeney, Austin Butler, Margaret Qualley, Victoria Pedretti, Maya Hawke, all in supporting roles. So what are some other examples of casting directors who saw the future, saw the vision, they were cooking with fire? One of the first films that come to mind is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which features an ensemble cast that includes some of the most legendary, iconic actors of the last few decades, like Oscar winner Sean Penn looking unrecognizable here, Nicolas Cage as well, Forrest Whitaker, Jennifer Jason Leigh. All four of these actors had incredibly fruitful careers for decades after this film and are still going today. Of course, you have to talk about Francis Ford Coppola's The Outsiders, which again featured an incredibly strong ensemble cast with several actors who became Hollywood mainstays for decades to come and still today. Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, Matt Dillon, Patrick Swayze. Speaking of Tom Cruise, Mr. Movies, always looking to pass the baton down to the next generation, the new wave of actors. We're already seeing that come to fruition with many of the supporting actors from Top Gun Maverick. Because even though this movie only came out 3 years ago, it feels like a lifetime ago for Glenn Powell, who has now just skyrocketed in fame to being one of the big Hollywood mainstays. Monica Barbaro, we've seen her get Oscar nominated since this movie came out for her performance in A Complete Unknown, and based on the nominees, I think she should have won the Oscar this year for that role. And then we have Louis Pullman and Danny Ramirez. Both of them have entered into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Louis Pullman with Thunderbolts, Danny Ramirez with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America Brave New World. And again, this wasn't any of their first roles ever in a movie, but the casting director saw the vision, saw their potential, and they've all skyrocketed in fame and the amount of projects they've been cast in since this movie came out.